Hey guys, it's Stace from Life Code here. I'm jumping on live tonight in my Plan Live training to talk to you guys about engaging content for social media. So if you are building your influence, you are building your brand through social media, and you are trying to connect with your audience through content, then tonight I'm going to share with you the 4 pillars for engaging content. I think it's easy for me when I'm talking to clients to break down the easiest thing with those 4 pillars of content. And we're going to talk all about those tonight and what they actually mean and how you create your own content maps and your own content library so that you can have a never-ending supply of content to connect with your audience. Hey guys who are jumping on live, I can see you all jumping on now. Make sure you give me a big hello when you jump on live because I'd like to see who's here live, and I want to know where you guys are from as well. I am in Tasmania in Australia. If you can't tell by the accent, I'm fairly Australian, right? So I love going live when you guys are available, and this time of night seems to be when most of you guys tell me to be on, but I want to know where you are actually tuning in from so I can make sure that all of my videos get to you who are watching me. Hey Lisa, thanks for jumping on. Hey guys. Thank you so much. So tonight we're going to talk about engaging content. Now, who struggles with actually creating content for social media? I know I talk to so many people about that struggle of what do you actually come up with to post every single day, right? Is that something that you struggle with? Well, for me personally, I find that previously I have had a struggle with it, but now, because I'm in a bit more of a flow, because I found the things I love talking about and the things I want to share with you guys, it's so easy to create content that speaks directly to my audience. And that all comes through a huge process of working out what your message is, what your niche is, what your brand is all about, and then how you actually want to get that out there to people. Tonight, I'm not going to go through all of that stuff with you. But tonight we're just going to go through those pillars of content. So hey, you guys that are jumping on live with me tonight. If you don't know me, I am Stacey Walker. I am an online marketing and branding strategist. So my job is to help you discover what your message is, find out how you can be an authority in your niche, and how to actually make big impact through social media and online services by creating your personal brand. And so tonight, we're going to go through some of my top tips and tricks when it comes to creating content for yourselves. Now, if you guys already don't have a list of at least 50 things that you want to post on social media in the next coming weeks, then that's something you should look at seriously. Now, it's not so much that you have to plan and schedule things out for social media, because I am definitely not a fan of scheduling content on social media. I actually post all of my content live as I'm going, but yes, I do have a library of ideas that I have so that if I don't have something to post on the fly, I have an idea waiting in the wings for me to post on social media for you guys. So like these live videos, so I wanted to plan out a few weeks in advance some live training that I want to do free over on this page, like what we're doing right now, right? So what I did was I started to brainstorm all of the different subjects within my niche, what I'm passionate about, what I want to connect with you guys about in live videos. And this is live videos only. And I came up with over 90 weeks worth of videos that I wanted to talk about. And I thought, well, that was insane. So I spoke to my husband, Craig, and I said, hey, babe, I've come up with like 2 years worth of content for weekly live videos. Is it all right if maybe I do like two a week for a little while or something like that? And he laughed and he was like, yeah, absolutely. You do whatever you want to do, because 2 years worth of content is just a little bit insane to already have planned out. So you guys are going to be hearing a lot more from me in as far as live videos go. So I hope that you enjoy my live videos. You know, I love talking. I like looking at that little black dot, knowing that you guys are in there. Hello, you're in there and you're actually listening to me. What I love even more is when I get messages with the feedback of, I've tried this, it's worked. What you talked to me about just really spoke to me and I've changed things up and it's been amazing. So if you have got feedback for me, make sure you send it through, because I absolutely love hearing it. If you think that I've helped in any way with you and your business, then please let me know, because I just love reading it. It's what I'm here for, and I'm really passionate about helping online entrepreneurs unlock their voice and their brand and really get their message out there to those that need them most. So that's what I'm here for tonight for you guys. And I feel blessed that I get to to be here, and I get to do this for you guys just live on Facebook. How cool is technology? Obviously, one part of creating a content schedule for yourself is live videos. So tonight, primarily, I'm talking about Facebook and Instagram because they are my two ultimate favorite platforms when it comes to being social. There are other platforms as well that are definitely valuable and useful. Things like YouTube, and also LinkedIn. You can look at Snapchat. There's so many others. And then you've got the amazing search engine platform of Pinterest, which I'm not going to talk about tonight, but I have got some information for you guys later that relates to other platforms as well. So tonight, I'm specifically talking about mostly Instagram and primarily Facebook when it comes to content creation. So when we talk about different content and different places that we're actually posting content, it really depends. But the content I'm talking about tonight and those 4 pillars, they really transfer over, whether it's a group, whether it's your Instagram, whether it's a Facebook page, a personal profile, or like all the different groups. If it's your own group or someone else's group that you're a part of. The most important part of social media is actually being social. Like, there is no point planning all this content if you're actually not willing to sit there and reply to the people that comment or react to your posts, and also get out there and talk to other people as well. Like, don't just sit around waiting for your audience to find you. It's your job to go out and find them. So of course tonight I'm talking about content that creates engagement. So we're talking about people coming to you, but my social media strategy is not all about this. It's not just the content, it's the actual creation of connections as well. So we're going to talk about that in other videos as we go along. So as a budding influencer, like, you guys want to be of influence. You want to grow your social media profile so that you can talk and connect with more people. You have a story, you have a message, you want to get that out there, right? You want to build that influence so that you can share with the world what it is you're passionate about and what you want to do. So we want to hear that story and we want to be able to connect with you. So I'm going to go through those pillars of content now because I'm trying to do these videos as quickly as possible because you guys know I could talk about this subject in particular for an hour. So I'm not going to do that tonight. So we've got the 4 different pillars of content. And the first one is education. So education. So create yourself a little table right now. And in one of the columns, I want you to write education. If you can do that, I would love you forever. So we're going to have four columns. So the first one's your education column. Now this column is where you put every single subject that you can think of that relates to your business, to your industry, and your niche in particular, because you want to come across as the expert in your area. So if you work in, say, natural health, then pick a niche. Pick something that you're going to speak louder about than any other subject. It doesn't mean that you don't talk about those other subjects. It just means that one particular niche that you are really, really focused on is what you talk most loud about. Does that make sense to you guys? I hope it does. So within that niche, so if you're working in natural health and you're really passionate about something like detoxing homes and reducing toxic load in the home, of course you're going to be looking at more so chemical-free alternatives, what impact that does on the home. So with the education posts, so it doesn't matter what industry you're in, this can work in so many different industries. Education, this is where you share statistics. It's where you share studies. It's where you educate your audience to understand what it is that you do and why they need to work with you. So you are showing them that you are the person who knows what they're talking about, you know how to answer their questions, and you really know how to solve their problems. So think about the problems that your audience has and how you can educate them on the subject so that they ultimately come to your product or service. And like I said, this works in so many different industries. It doesn't just have to be products. It can be service-based. It can be business to business. So education, have a good brainstorm, get out that column now and write out as many different subjects as you can think of that you could educate people on when it comes to statistics, it comes to research, studies, it comes to subjects within that. So in particular, you guys know that I love essential oils and I run an amazing essential oils business. So when it comes to education, I'm not just going to talk about the oils. I can write down every single essential oil that I can think of singularly to educate people about, but it goes so much deeper than that. Think about how you can educate people on how to use them on their skin. And then when they've put them on their skin, what actually happens? You can break down the process of using an essential oil into 6 different pieces of content just from how when you open the bottle, it aromatically changes the chemicals in your brain, to then how you actually dilute oils so that they're safe on the skin. When you're putting them on the skin, what happens? And then how they actually detox and leave your body. Like, there's so many different layers of education that you guys can really look deeply into. You can also look into things like educating them on how to store things and where to put them. If you use beauty products, like, educate people on the different ingredients, like break things down in great detail so you really inspire people to open their eyes to look at things a little bit differently. And when they come to looking at your particular products or service, they come across your content and they see that you are the person that's spoken about so many different things, that you must be the person that knows the most. Like, you just come across as the expert. And of course, you don't have to know everything to get started. You can honestly create content from something you've researched just that morning. You don't have to know all of this stuff and be able to talk in front of a room full of 10,000 people on these particular subjects. This is just content creation for social media. Through this, you might find particular subjects that you get really passionate about and you really want to help educate people on. But I think that education is the most exciting part of content creation, because we are unlimited. We can do so many different things when it comes to education. Now I want you to get out your next column, and I want you to write inspiration. So you've got education and then you've got inspiration. So inspiration, how do you be inspirational? How do you inspire people? And this will depend on your type of business as to what tactics you use when it comes to inspiration. So if you are working in network marketing, you want to inspire people to join your tribe, like your business, from a business opportunity. You want to inspire people with the freedom that a network marketing business gives you. If you want to inspire people to use your products, how are you going to inspire them to actually pick those products up and use them every day? So think about inspiration, not so much on like motivational quotes and those kind of things. Yes, they're valid and you need to share those because they're highly engaging content as well. And the click-through rate for, and share rate of motivation and inspirational quotes is huge. So it's still valid. But I want you to think a little bit deeper into how to inspire people through social media. And some easy tips and tricks around that is to easily share testimonials. So ask every single person who's used your product or service for some feedback. What have they found works really well? How did they go with things? If they've had an issue that you know that they came to you about and they've used your product, their rosacea's fixed or their eczema's gone, like whatever products that you're using, or if you're business to business and you've been coaching people, or like me as a strategist and you're helping people strategize, how is what you've given them change things for them? And I want you to think a little bit deeper into that as well, because we want to talk about that transformation process. So when you're sharing these testimonials, think about what that transformation is for that person. How are they actually a better person because of your product or service? What's changed in their life for the better? So I want you to think about how you can inspire people with testimonials, with feedback, with inspirational things like if you're looking at from a business opportunity, travel, just working from home can inspire people to join your tribe. Like, there are people out there who honestly just want to be able to work from home and not have to commute to an office every single day. So that's inspirational for someone. Share your freaking story. Stop hiding behind products and corporate looking posts. Ew. I want you to actually get down deep into the reasons why you're doing this business and why you're so passionate to share. Inspire people to join this journey with you. Now, one of the things I'm working with my Biz Academy at the moment about is to create a movement, to create a cause that people come and join you in on. Get out there and create a cause, create a movement for your tribe, a collective movement. And now a movement or a cause isn't about you and like saying, oh, hey, this is what I'm going to do to the world. No, this is what we're going to do together. We're going to change the world. We're going to change beauty. We're going to change business. We're going to change social media, whatever that looks like for your business and how that fits. Think about how you can create a movement and a cause and inspire people to join that cause by doing inspirational posts. Okay. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So you've got education, you've got inspiration. Now the next column can look so different depending on who you are, but I love, love, love seeing my clients' connection posts. This is one of the things that absolutely sparks joy in me. So when you're creating, so write down connection in your next column. If you're following along at home, make sure you let me know that you're watching the replay too, by the way. So in that next column that you've got there, connection. Now this is how you actually deeply connect with your audience. You find out who they are, what they're about, but you also want to connect with them on a personal level. And again, this is sharing your stories. So how you've used products, behind the scenes, and using your stories on Instagram and Facebook is really important. We know that most people now are actually jumping onto stories before they're even looking at news feeds. So it's definitely worthwhile to jump on and start using your stories. And I have actually posted a video on some training that I did when it comes to using Instagram and Facebook stories. So make sure you check that video out as well. So using stories for behind the scenes, sharing things like your pets, and is an amazing way to connect with your audience, but also all those quirky little things about you that you probably would be embarrassed about, but hey, you're a social media influencer now and you have to share all the goodies with all of us, right? So think about maybe just a few things, like maybe 5 things that it makes you quirky and that people will love you for. Like I love anything when it comes to do with witchy stuff, with anything a little bit alternative and creepy and kooky. I also love cats. I would be a crazy cat lady if I was allowed to be. And Harry Potter, probably my top 3 things outside of business that I really love talking about. So yeah, I guess those are like 3 little quirky things. So I love connecting with my audience. And if any of my audience are Harry Potter nuts, like me, I want to know about it. And I love talking to all of my raving Harry Potter fans. When it comes to cat people, people know, no, I'm going to share silly cat stuff as often as I can. If it comes up in my newsfeed, I'm going to be sharing it. So think about in your connection column, the quirky things that make you you. What makes you unique and what makes you a person just to connect with and laugh with, or feel grounded when they're watching your content, because you might meditate every single day. So share that with us. You might do yoga practice every day. Share that with people. That's the connection type content. Now, other than the behind the scenes, who you are, your story type of connection content, also think about posting polls, which is stories are amazing to do polls and questions, Q&As, but think about also in groups on social media, how you can ask questions and do polls to find out more about your audience, because you need to know what it is that they actually need, right? We're here to solve problems, and the easiest way to find out what problems are to ask as many questions as possible. So get out there and ask your audience for feedback. Ask them questions, and it doesn't even have to be related to your business, but it just has to be something that people want to jump in on and talk about. So when I talk about this, like I talk about Harry Potter, this is a huge one. Like doing a poll, like what's your Harry Potter house, or what's your Patronus, something like that. It's not necessarily connected to business, but it's helping people connect with me on a deeper personal level. It's also helping with algorithms. It's helping you feel connected to everyone. It's amazing to ask questions, to ask polls. You can also ask questions regarding your products. What are the top 5 products that you feel like you don't know enough about? Or what's the one product you've got at home that you're not using right now? Asking these questions will help you understand who they are, what they're about, and it'll help you work out some content that might come into education or inspiration, because you get a little bit of feedback and you'll know what exactly they're talking about. Now, the next one and the last one. So you've got your 3 columns so far. You've got your last column, which is solutions. Now, I could talk about this one for an hour on its own, and I promise you I'm not. I was trying to keep this as quick as possible. Solutions versus sales. Now, previously I have actually used the term sales for this column, and it just doesn't vibe with me, because I'm not trying to sell stuff to people. I am out there trying to find solutions for people. So I've renamed it, cross out the sales, and it's solutions. So this type of content is where you actually are actively promoting your stuff. This is where you recommend people to join you, to sign up as a client, to be involved in your cause and your movement. This is where you put the call to action stuff of this is how you do this and how you learn more. So your solutions-based content And I know you've heard me talking about this before as well, where we talk about features versus benefits. So every single product or service that you have, I want you to write out a list, and then next to each product or service, write out the transformation that that offers for someone else. And some products may actually offer multiple transformations. You might have a product that helps with sleep, but it also helps people with meditation, with being grounded, with focus, whatever that looks like. Those are transformations. So for a product like that, you talk about a transformation is more sleep, a better lifestyle because you don't feel fatigued. Like those are the transformations. I feel more focused, therefore I'm obtaining more information. I'm able to work harder and then work smarter because I'm more focused. So every single product and service that you have, write out the transformation that it offers. And then that's the transformation that you sell on social media. That's the solution for people. It's not the product. And I laugh when I break this down for people all the time. You can think of so many different crazy products, and in the past I've talked about Hawaiian Airlines, for example, and this is a perfect example of features versus benefits when it comes to product writing. So the features are an airplane, right? It gets you from A to B. It has engines, it has seats. I don't know much about it. It has a cockpit with lots of buttons and a communication system, and I'm sure there's heaps of other things like eco stuff that they use nowadays. My husband's going to look at this and laugh at me because he's totally into airplanes. But when Hawaiian Airlines does an advertisement, they don't do an ad based on the vessel. Like they don't actually talk about the plane in their advertisements. What they're selling you on is getting off the plane, being in a tropical paradise, going out for cocktails with little umbrellas in them, getting a massage underneath palm trees, going to a luau. You can see like they sell the dream, they sell the transformation, they sell the destination. They don't sell the vessel itself. And I want you to think about your content when it comes to solutions just like that. So don't think about selling the product, saying, here, this is what it is, this is what it does, and this is what's in it, because that ain't going to sell it to people. People make purchasing decisions with their limbic system, which is where emotions and memory are stored and created from. So think about how you can offer transformations as a solutions post. And these can look different. You can use stories, again, because we're storytellers. It's our job as a social media influencer to tell stories as much as possible. But also remember to highlight the benefits of the products, that transformation, the destination, not the actual vessel itself. And you can write out content, a solution and a transformation for every single product that you've got, every service, whatever it looks like for your business, you can write that. And so what that would look like from a social media content point of view would be connect to them with a story. Say you understand, this is what it feels like, this is how it is. And then it's good to tease them a little bit with what would it feel like if you didn't have to wake up in pain every day? What would it feel like if you had makeup that did XYZ? What would it feel like if you had skincare that didn't react to your skin, that made you feel 20 years younger? So tease them with a little bit of a what if moment. So what would it feel like if blah, blah, blah. Now, also, remembering the feel word. Bring feelings into anything you're doing on social media as much as possible. We don't want people to think about it. What do you think about it? Ew. No, don't say that. Say, what do you feel about it? Or how would that feel? Because again, people are connecting with you with their limbic system, not their logic side of their brain. So when you're posting content, think about asking how something feels. And so that tease, that bit of a, you know who they are, you know what they're going through, what would it feel like if they didn't have to go through it anymore? And then go through what exactly it is that you are offering and how they can access it with a call to action, that CTA at the end. Now, with these types of posts, I usually say 1 out of 5 should be a solutions-based post. You don't want to be posting or promotions-based content more than 1 out of 5. So the rest of the time, you want to be creating connection content, you want to be educating, and you want to be inspiring, and leave those solution-based posts for the less the less. Like, you don't want to be posting it. I'm having a brain fade. So you don't want to be posting a solutions-based post every single day, right in your face. This is how it is. This is what you buy. So you want to make sure that you have a really, really lovely balance between the different types of content. So I want to know how you guys are going with those columns. I want to see them. If you've started creating your own columns, those 4, so you've got the pillars. All right, I'm going to go back through them quickly because you know I like a good recap. So you've got education, you've got inspiration, you've got connection, and solutions. So those are the 4 pillars of engaging content on social media. Now, there are so many other tips and tricks on how to post, when to post, all of that craziness. I am going to be jumping on live every single week with more cool free training for you guys, and hopefully I might even sneak in and do a little bit more because I have that many ideas that came through when I was doing my brainstorming. Now, what I love is really just creating content calendars that can go on forever. Now, when it comes to creating these ideas as well, like I was saying, I don't batch content. I don't sit there with these 90 weeks of content and write out all my ideas. I have a column that has like the headline or the topic of what I want to discuss and maybe a couple of words just to make sure that when it comes to the time, I remember what I was inspired to talk about. But I don't actually create any content before the date. But you can certainly do that. Just because I don't do it doesn't mean you can't do it. But I don't personally advocate scheduling anything because this is social media, and we need to remember that we need to actually be social and be online while we're posting stuff. Crystal's just asked, what would you aim at posting weekly? Example, 1 or 2 from each pillar a week. I would probably, and it really depends on your social media strategies. So I would be posting daily on an active business page, whether that's Facebook or Instagram, whatever you're focusing on. If you're focusing on both or other platforms, definitely at least once a day. Now, if you're actively wanting to build and you're getting good engagement, try posting twice a day. See how that feels if you like that. But I actually think posting less on social media has more benefits than posting constantly on social media with no engagement at all. So I would be posting once a day at least with those different pillars in mind, making sure that 1 out of every 5 is a solution-based pillar. But if you have got Facebook groups, now this is where it gets a little different, because Facebook groups, you want to be posting at least 3 times a day in those groups until they're up and running and they're managing themselves with member activity, right? So if you're the only one posting in your groups right now, that's fine. I promise it will take off eventually. It's all good. Invite people to engage with your content as much as possible. If you're not already in my Facebook community, Life Code Zone, make sure you join. That's where I am most active on Facebook. I only post really these lives and cross posts from Instagram on my page these days. I'm in my groups. And then I actually use those pillars to post in other people's groups as well. So there are other entrepreneur groups and business groups that I'm active in every single day, and I will use those pieces of content as well. So you don't have to create different content for every group or platform that you're using, but it's a good idea to not post the same content on all the platforms and all the groups all at the same time. So you can actually use the same content, but just recycle it. Make sure that it could be weeks or days where it's different, and you just cycle through the content so that every group, every platform is getting the same content, just at different times, if that makes sense. I am available to ask questions. If you guys have got questions, make sure you drop them now, either in the comment section, or if you're watching along as a replay, drop them in the comment section and I'll get back to them and I will write out a reply for you guys. But that's it. That's the 4 pillars of creating engaging content. Now, of course, there are so many other parts of how to actually make this work for your business that is most important as well. But just get creating. Like, if you feel like you've been stuck in a content creation funk and you haven't got lists and lists of stuff to be posting about, then just grab those columns and just start writing some ideas of what you can engage your audience with, what you can inspire them with, how you can connect with them, all of that sort of stuff. All right, cool. I'm on time, guys. This is great. I love coming on live and talking to you guys about this stuff. I think that it's a good topic of discussion because I know so many of you at the moment are really struggling with coming up with some original content. Now, when it comes to all of the other stuff, of course, there's so many other things I want to just start talking about straight away, so I'm going to try and shut up. But also think about stepping outside of your business and what you already know, and think about someone who hasn't tried your products or services yet. And if they came across your feed, would they be inclined to actually try the product or learn more? Or are you connecting on a personal level? There are so many feeds out there that I see that just look like corporate posts. There's no connection, there's no meaningful, there's no originality out there. There is so much content that looks so same. So try and keep this original, guys. Like, try and post as much as you can from you, everything about you. All right, Barbara just said I answered hers anyway. Best to use different posts of different platforms. Yes, definitely. I'm not so much don't listen to or watch what I do when it comes to this, because I don't use my page anymore except for my lives for organic content. But yes, if you're posting and actively trying to build Facebook and Instagram, for example, post different content on each, because there's no point for people to follow you on each if the content is going to be the same on both. So it's definitely a good idea to have different content. When it comes to your groups, make sure that you're posting content in your groups, like I said, 3 times a day to build a group. That's the best way to build an active and thriving community group. I have so many different groups that I run. I've got my Life Code Zone. I've got other ones from my wellness business, and I've got other business ones that I'm part of. I just honestly believe that 3 times a day we should be aiming for your groups. And with that content, of course, it's 3 times a day, so don't pop your solutions posts in there all the time. You guys know that I don't really plug myself at all in the Life Code Zone group, which I probably should do more so of those solutions-based posts. But anyway, thanks, Beck. Thanks, Crystal. All right, guys, that was a quick, sharp, short little piece of advice, some strategy for you. Now, don't forget that I am a strategist, so for me, of course, it's important to plan and get all of this stuff organized so that you have a definite idea of some actions that you can take. But of course, always remember that this business should be in flow. It should be aligned with your message and your core message and the cause that you're actually working towards. And make sure that you're constantly thinking about that cause and how that influences others and your squad and your tribe, like the people that are around you and joining you. They might not joining you in the business, but they might be joining you just trying the products, and they're part of your cause and your movement as well. So just love the absolute crap out of everyone that comes along, and remember, this is all about them. It's not about you at the end of the day. But yes, all right, cool. All right, I'll jump off now, guys. If you've got questions, make sure you do leave them in the comments, and I will come back to them for sure. I will see you guys over in Life Code Zone. If you're not already over there, make sure you join me, and I'll see you soon. See you guys.